Hey, so God bless everyone. These are all the signs that, well, not all of them, but a lot of them that came out of my van that I was on the road with for 6 months, give or take 5 months, 6 months, 7 months. Stop the brainwash I made while I was out there. And there's the DC flag, baby. Free J6er sign, baby. God, family, country. You know, I wanted to really quickly, because I've heard a little bit about it. I don't get on the Wi-Fi hardly at all. I have no Wi-Fi at home. I don't do hotspots and all that. But even at my little library 3 miles down the road, the Wi-Fi hasn't been working. But I really wanted to touch on a little bit about Jessica Watkins, a biological male that is a female. Is that the way it goes? And y'all know my position, most people on this channel, on YouTube, about transgenders, transvestites, males in women's sports, girls' sports. Should have never been going on. Unbelievable. I'm sorry, but biological males walking into, in particular, our little girls' restrooms and locker rooms and such, being able to have the ability to do so. The legal ability to do so. It's a huge issue, this transgender, and for me, what leaks into many, many, many genders stuff put on our American society and the whole world more than ever before. Much like the whole homosexual issue was put on us all many decades until everybody just said, oh, well, whatever. And that's what's happening here. But I draw the line on biological males in girls' locker rooms, in girls' sports. I stand for you women. I stand for women's sports and such in that regard. And I mean, I'm against many genders because I personally absolutely believe it's a big old huge fantasy, like Disneyland stuff. Most of the woke stuff is fantasy, indoctrination, brainwashing put on our American public and primarily upon our young people and our children. But in concern with Jessica Watkins' case, where she is incarcerated in Oklahoma now, I understand. I'm sure it's difficult to be on the men's side. She would rather be on the women's side. Because let's face it, women are more gentle overall, I don't care what anybody says, than guys. You put a person in her situation on the male side with a bunch of, or at least a whole lot of inappropriate men, Jessica Watkins could have a real hard time on that side. Much harder than on the female side. It's kind of ironic how this looks and is. But anyway, our prison systems in America, they protect prisoners. So in my opinion, she should be protected by being allowed to stay on the women's side of the prison with the women. If she is subjected to staying with the men, she will be mistreated much more harshly. Either side, she's going to be mistreated. But it will happen much more harshly on the male's side, the men's side. It's just reality. So in this case, she should be protected. She's been a female doing that role, so to speak, for over 20 years. She should be able to be protected. She has no history of mistreating women and so forth and so on that I'm aware of. She should be protected. Actually, she should be sent. She should be given freedom to go home or a halfway house and go through that and get home. Because she's another of many, most all J6 prisoners, defendants and prisoners that are being severely mistreated and imprisoned. Severely. And most of us on here would know that. So God bless and help Jessica Watkins. I got to hear her story quite a lot live on testimony from when she was in the J6 prison in D.C. And a very articulate person. I'd be interested in hearing her whole story someday and where she sits on a lot of the subjects involving the subject area around the whole transgender situation we should be discussing across America, talking about. Just like the whole abortion issue. My good God, help us all. Just like the southern border issue. My good God, help us all. Same with the transgender woke. When are you gonna stop indoctrinating our children in the school systems and across America and on the national media and the world media across the whole world? When are you going to stop the indoctrination from a false, evil media? Evil because they're one-sided. We have huge issues in America right now. The inflation is destroying people around me. It's discouraging them deeply. Not being able to do hardly anything because of money. Because you got to spend so much money just to survive. We got huge issues across our country right now. We have to deal with. God Almighty help us all. Amen.